Hello, hello, and welcome everyone. You have joined Twitchy Tuesdays, where we are thriving live once per week to discuss all the astrology, and we pull some tarot. And in this video, we are going to delve into the specific influences of the Pisces full moon. We have Venus direct in Leo this week, Jupiter retrograde in Taurus, and an entire overview of September and all the delicious energy that September has to offer. It is a really big show today. We have the animal totem ready to go. You can see it back here to help us make the most of these celestial events and get guidance. So that is what we are going to be doing today. Thank you so much for joining me. Before we even get into the astrology, anybody else on the 2 a.m. club stamped another stamp in my full moon passport up at 2 a.m.? So if you are feeling the energies, if you tend to cycle at the 2 a.m. club, 2, 3, 4 a.m. club during full moons, you are in good company. You can drop it in the chat, drop it in the comments. We are here. We're going to get this done today, though. All right, astrology. I'm just going to go over quickly the week. We'll focus on September. We'll get into the Pisces full moon. We'll get into Venus stationing retrograde. We'll get into Jupiter stationing direct, and then we will get into Jupiter's retrograde in Taurus. And the entire show today is being guided by the animal tarot. That's one of the coolest things about it. Totally came out. I've got a different animal for each of those different segments. That's really going to be setting our foundation, getting us into the energy for each of these different aspects or transits. Okay. So first off, on 8:30, it's 8:29. We've got a nice tempered day, although again, 2 a.m. club feeling this Piscean full moon energy that is coming live and right at us on 8:30, happening at 7 degrees, 25 minutes. And we have a solid 3 days of integrating this energy, welcoming in September, a whole other month, still working on all of this Virgo stuff that we're working through. And then on 9/3, that's right, Venus is stationing direct in Leo, of course, at 12 degrees, 12 minutes. We'll talk about the 12s. We'll get into that conversation here in a little bit. And then immediately the next day, Mercury and Jupiter have some things going on. So Mercury retrograde in Virgo will trine Jupiter in Taurus, 15 degrees, 35 minutes. That will happen early in the morning. And then hours later, Jupiter stations retrograde in Taurus at 15 degrees, 35 minutes. So you can tell when he's trining Mercury, he's already at that stasis. He's sitting exactly where he needs to be in order to then begin his retrograde movement. And that's the week. That leads us all the way until our next Twitchy Tuesday. So this is the entrance into September. It is the end of August. We are now moving on. We are getting closer to Mabon. We're getting closer to that spectacular time of fall and the autumn equinox. So we are working our way through. We're going to start the show off first with a September overview. And the tarot that came out, or the animal tarot that came out for September, is the dragonfly. We saw a dragonfly on our walk today. I knew right away when it kind of kept hanging around, and it was huge too. When it kept hanging around, kept doing its thing, I was like, okay, dragonfly wants to be present today. And dragonfly is the 7 of Cups in the animal tarot. So I have the Animal Totem Tarot book. And like always, you know, I got you in the description box. If you are watching live on X, thank you for joining me. I will make sure to put that in as soon as this is done underneath as a thread. But what I wanted to ground in, normally I actually don't read these before because I want to like congregate everything. But given the fact that each of these different animals is really grounding us into the energy of what we're going to be talking about, I did look so that way we could get to the exact energy, the exact message that we needed that's trying to come through. So again, once again, we have the dragonfly, 7 of cups. And the message here was when the creative floodgates are open, they do not know how to distinguish between what you need right now and what would be fantastic for some other time. To combat this, keep an idea journal close at hand and write down the constant stream of creative energy so that it is out of your head. It's very Virgo, very Mercury retrograde in Virgo. And then center and keep your attention on the current and pressing objects. And this is because in September, right now, currently, Virgo, Mercury in that retrograde motion, we can have an abundance of ideas. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But what do we really need? What do we really need for September? What do we really need to be actually putting our energy to? Because when I thought about this and the 7 of cups, right, just in general, this card in general, right, you have a bunch of options. A lot of those cups, a lot of these ideas may be brand new. September is not about the new. September is not about starting all new things like, okay, this is that initiation energy. This energy is all about revolution or resolution, resolution or revolution. That is what we are working towards this month. There is a lot about this month. There's not a lot of direct aspects. This month, from an energy perspective, from a conversation, planetary points, etc., there ain't a lot going on. There are no other ingresses in September, meaning planets or points moving into another sign until the sun gets into Libra. We're just sitting in soup in September. And there's not a lot of play on play with conversations. The universe is really giving us this opportunity in September to clear out some of the stuff, because October, I'm getting goosebumps right now. October, y'all better be ready. October is huge. October is massive in the amount of conversations that are happening, the amount of transits that occur, the ingresses, the lunations. We have 2 eclipses in October. September needed to be chill. We need to clear off a lot on our plate right now. Get the ideas that we have been working on, what we have been harvesting. We need to get them. We need to get it out. We need to sow those seeds. We need to harvest what we can. So that way, when October hits, we have capacity, we have space. So again, these ideas, this thought about this dragonfly and these 7 of cups, the ideas that are coming in. An idea journal is great. Put it on the parking lot. Don't lose those ideas. They're still very, very valid. I mean, look at everything that's in here. We've got scrolls in here. We've got silverware, candies. It looks like olives, cherries, maybe even bread, like little baguettes. Those are all wonderful things to have. All of them have their purpose, but do they have purpose right now? Okay, so September, let me put this over on this side. September is closing out quarter 3. Quarter 3, our word for quarter 3 was new foundations. And it's very much the end of that. Our foundation is set. In fact, Virgo, we're in an inspection time. When I really got into this vision of September and what September's energy signatures really are about, there was very much this imagery of like, over the last couple of months, you have gone through the process of going from securing a permit to do the work, right? Whatever that looked like, getting the work done. And now the inspector, Virgo, is coming in and approving it. It's your final approval that you need before you can begin your next step, whatever that looks like, whatever the foundation is. We need that Virgo check-in to look at the foundation that we've laid and say, you're good to go. Start building your walls. Start doing the next phases, start doing the next things. And that's where October comes. 2 eclipses, great, we can do some really expansive things, great beginnings, great endings. September, allow those things to clear out that are no longer needed. So in September overall, it's an incredibly trine heavy month. In the small amount of aspects that we do have, 6 of them are trines. So lots of support and helping us get this done. We have 2 squares, which are squares we already know about. We've already been talking through. We have 1 cazimi, that is a conjunction between the Sun and Mercury retrograde. And we have 1 opposition. That's it. That's our totality of things. We also have 7 planets and points in retrograde at the very start of September and through September, because once Venus goes direct, Jupiter stations. That is a lot of recalibration. That's a lot of the things in life, a lot of the rethinking. I love that we have resolution and revolution, 2 words as well. So there's a lot that is happening that we are supportive to us. We can get things done in. We've got the Jupiter-Venus square underlying energy the entire month long, right? We talked about how to temper some of that energy, watch some of that energy. Don't kind of fall into the overdoing things this month, but really allow your process to take place. In September, we have 2 lunations. That's going to be the Virgo new moon on September 14th, which will be trining Uranus retrograde in Taurus. That happens at 21 degrees, 59 minutes. We also have the Aries full moon, which is at 6 degrees flat. We will definitely, when we get there in September, and that's going to be on the 29th, we will absolutely talk about the significance of a flat degree, a 6 even point, and then 6 as well. Like I said, we have a couple of stations transiting things, right? We've got Venus going direct 9-3, next day 9-4, Jupiter is retrograde, and then Mercury goes direct on 9-15. And only one ingress this month. The Sun will head into Libra, where we get Libra season 9/23. That is Mabon, the autumn equinox. So that's it. It's a lot, and at the same time, it's not as intense as what we're going to see in October. It's not as abundant as what we're going to see in October, but there is very, very solid energy, solid supportive energy here in September to help us get to our resolution or revolution. And truly what that all means, making order out of chaos. Instead of having a lot of chaos with our order, let's flip that around. We want a lot of order with our chaos. A little bit of chaos, more order. And that's what's open to us as we go through. So let's talk a bit about those 2 words. And I'm actually going to start shuffling. Again, reminders, 7 of Cups is out here. So that's going to be, as I start shuffling the cards, that is going to be the central energy that we're going to be working with. All right, let me get this up for you so that way you can see the shuffle. See the shuffle? All right, resolution. From the dictionary, resolution is the act or process of resolving, such as the act of analyzing a complex notion into simpler ones. Chaos and order, right? With resolution, this is really where the Virgo, the AMAGs that we talked about last Twitchy Tuesday, if you remember that, the AMAGs come into play. This Virgo energy can really come into play and support in getting these resolutions. What's the AMAG? Analyze. A. Maintain. M. Adjust. The other A. G. Grow. And the little S is damn it, keep it simple. So analyze, maintain, adjust, grow, keeping it all simple. 2 of Rods just popped out. Understand the 2 of Rods. So understanding what actions need to be taken when, Understanding that I love always that the Two of Rods in the original Rider-Waite Tarot holds this globe, it's almost, I always think of this globe as like the all-seeing eye, or like an 8-ball, right? Like something that is an oracle, something that is asking us to have a vision, right? Hold the vision, trust the process, have this vision, know that there is an element of faith to the journey that you're on. Know that there is an element of, there are actions that I need to take to continue this journey. That's where the 2 comes from. There's balance that is needed though in the other side of it, which is there are things that are vastly out of my control. I can have, here's the 7 of Cups again. I can have all of these ideas. I can actually put action to all of these ideas, but how do I take initiated action? Action that can come to a resolution, can come to a process of resolving, can come in a way that will help me analyze a complex notion, these 7 of Cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these 6. So in this deck, in this card, the animal, there are 6 cups filled with things, and 1 cup is sitting off here, off on the side with nothing in it. Based on the picture, it doesn't look like there's anything in it. This is these complex notions, these complex ideas that we have, and then coming back here to keeping it simple. Max. I'm going to analyze what's here. I'm going to maintain the direction, this 2 of Rods that I'm going. I'm going to adjust and pivot as needed. I'm going to grow and take action, but I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it as simple as I possibly can. All right. Revolution now. So that was resolution. Let's talk about revolution. And while they both deal with chaos and order, there was very much intention in the or. It is resolution or revolution, not resolution and revolution. Because through each of the things that you are working on, the processes that you are going through, the ideations that you're going through, the implementations that you're going through, whatever you are harvesting, it's probably not just one thing. It's probably multiple things that you're doing. Multiple things can either be, if you're creating an idea, that one idea is going to come to resolution or revolution, but another idea may come to the other one. I want to start an LLC. I'm going to create resolution on that. Okay, created the LLC, got my resolution. I resolved that. It's now no longer complex. It's no longer chaos. It's now order. The next thing that I had to do was get a bank account. Well, that actually ended up going through revolution. It revolved into something else. It completed its course. It was kind of a complete change of what I'm thinking. Instead of actually doing a traditional bank account, I went and ended up getting, I don't know, a non-traditional bank account. I'm going with Venmo. Venmo is going to host all my things. That's where my debit card's at. So it's not necessarily both, but that is also a question that you can ask yourself. Is it resolution or revolution? Is it both? These are these engaging conversations as we get through September that you can actively look at with what you are making into order out of the chaos of what it's been. So revolution is the reordering of the world and putting it the right way up. That is actually from Dr. Jordan Peterson's Exodus series. I love that so much when they were talking about revolution, that I wanted to bring it in here because it was such a great way to put revolution. From a dictionary perspective, there's multiple meanings for revolution. The first is the action by a celestial body of going round in an orbit or elliptical course. apparent movement of such body around the earth, the time taken to complete a round of an orbit, the rotation, progressive motion of a body around an axis so that any line of the body parallel to the axis returns to its initial position, the motion of any figure about the center of an axis. And why is that so important? Revolution in that manner, what that lets you know is no matter what, it always comes back around. It's always innate. It's always an ebb and flow. It's always going, the sun is going to rise again, at least hopefully in this lifetime, right? Can't guarantee millions of years down the road when all of that, our star burns out, etc. However, today, having the revolution of something going around an access point, think about that as it pertains to what you are working on, what types of things you're harvesting. Are you that access, and are things going around you? Are you that access point, the center? And is life going just around you? Are you creating some of that through your own gravitational force? And then another way to look at that is like, is there any concerns? I don't know if this is ever going to come to revolution. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to have this complete change. I don't know about all of this. What did it say here? A progressive motion of a body around an axis so that any line of the body parallel to the axis returns to its initial position. We have the Six of Pentacles. Revolution. It's a completion of a course, like years, a period made by the regular succession of a measure of time or by a succession of similar events. Are you on a cycle? 6, right? 3 and 3. Are you on a cycle of some sort? It can be a sudden, radical, or complete change, a fundamental change in a political organization, an overthrow or renunciation of one's government or ruler, and the substitution of another by the governed, activity or movement designed to effect fundamental changes in a socioeconomic situation, a fundamental change in a way of thinking about or visualizing something. Are you going through a process? Are you going through a personal revolution? Is the way that you are looking about policy, politics, what were some of the other words in here? The government. Is there a fundamental change that is happening? Are you like this gentleman here with these Six of Pentacles? He is the access point. Maybe you are the change that is needed. Maybe this is the time where you start to have the voice. We do have Mercury retrograde here. Mercury is in Virgo. You have the voice on this earth. We've got the Pentacles here. He is in Virgo for a nice, sweet amount of time. He's got 22 degrees to go direct with until he is out of Virgo. Take advantage of it. Maybe you are the central access point where these ideas revolve around. Your idea, your change, how you moved through things, how you created your own revolution inside of you. Maybe that's the story that you need to share. Maybe you're trying to figure out a way to do that. It's a change of paradigm. Maybe your thoughts have shifted. Maybe what you once thought was true is absolutely not true anymore. Your story has changed. Technology has changed. The technology that you use has changed. Maybe now you are going from doing to teaching. There's always a time where the student needs to become the teacher. And that may be this time. So that is our overview for September. Again, we've got the Seven of Cups, the Dragonfly. We have the Resolution in the Two of Wands, the Revolution in the Six of Pentacles. Welcome to September. Take advantage of this time. October is going to be serious. So really dig into September, really use that Virgo energy, really use this Mercury in Virgo, especially after he stations direct, which will be again on 9/15, and get the energy moving. Get your resolution or revolution. All right, let's transition now to, we've got the Pisces full moon. That is coming up quickly. That is tomorrow. Let me get it up here for you. Pisces full moon happening tomorrow, although again, 2 a.m. club. You might have been feeling it already. Is it raining outside? Oh my gosh, it's raining and thundering right now. Yes. Okay. Pisces full moon. I haven't seen it yet. I have not been able. We went on a walk. We had a bunch of cloud cover, like so deliciously Piscean that all this moon is, for me at least, is being felt versus seen. And such a great Piscean like alignment. I love that that's happening. Let's dive into the moon and talk about it. So 7 degrees, 25 minutes of Pisces. If you have your natal chart, you know your natal chart, that is where you want to look. You want to look in the 7 degree, 25 minutes of Pisces, see where that falls for you. That is the house that is going to be illuminated during this time. And it happens at 8:35 p.m. Central, so it should be nice, big. It is a super moon, so it is supposed to be huge. Closest to the earth. This is our second supermoon of August. This is our second full moon of August, which also makes this a blue moon. That's where the phrase once in a blue moon comes from. It's when you have 2 full moons in the same month occurring. So hopefully, obviously we are thunder, lightning, rain right now, but hopefully that cloud cover clears, be able to see the moon. But again, if not, and you don't see it from your location either, own that. That is so deliciously Piscean. Just let that truly absorb, and let that moon just really move with you. Okay, I want to actually ground in before we get into what my comments were on the moon, etc., with the Sabian symbol, and I'll tell you the animal tarot for it as well. So first off, for the Piscean full moon, our Sabian symbol. Okay. We are at Pisces 8 for the Sabian symbol. And again, this will also be in the description box as well as on X after the show. Pisces 8, a girl blowing a bugle. This is a symbol of the self-perfecting required for the many different forms of man's participation in the experience of his fellows. Illustrated here in the successful achievement and discharge of group responsibilities. Life's activities may have a myriad modifications, but human personality must make one of these its special charge as a basis for its own fulfillment. The individual challenges his fellows and is challenged by them in turn at each reoccurring point of special potentiality. That reminds me of reciprocity, which is a word that has been coming up over and over and over again. The key word is summons. When positive, the degree is an eagerness for self-expression and an alertness to every opportunity for self-justification. And when negative, officiousness and delight in regimentation. There's also a little bit of play there, right? This play of not being super rigid, being willing to play, not being so regimented. That's that Virgo Pisces access. It's not being such a taskmaster, but allowing that Piscean playtime to come in and own in and just be able to dream a little bit. So that is Pisces 8. And another reciprocity word, by the way, is about ready to come out. The animal totem that I chose for this moon was the swans, which is the lovers in this deck. Let me get to that right away, so that way we can ground in on the overall energy, and then we'll talk about this moon. All right. So the swan represents the element of unconditional love, love of self and love of others. It does not place one over the other or negate love by wrapping it up in a bow of expectation. Swans pick one life partner and one only, though it is not the singularity of their choice that is relevant, but the commitment they have to the choices they make. When you look at your relationship, can you say you are just as committed to your choices? And that's your relationship with everything right now. That is your relationship to others. That is your relationship to the Venusian things, because this is the Pisces, Libra, or Pisces, Virgo axis. There is this relation to your ideas, right? It's the relation to, yes, others is obviously here most off, relationship to self, relationship to what you're creating, the commitments to what you're creating. So the swan is our present energy for this moon, and let me get this on screen, and we will start shuffling and talking about this moon. So my phrase for this moon that I came up with was detachment, which is where Pisces comes from. Detachment in a purposefully responsible way. Purposefully and responsible is Virgo. So it is truly this axis that is being lit up, this Virgo Pisces. While the moon may illuminate what is happening in the Piscean area of your chart, the moon is also asking you to understand and get with the Virgo, feel into the Virgo side of your chart and what house that connects with and the themes of that house. So this is really about working with our muscles of intuition. We do have muscles of intuition. It's a skill. You have to practice it in order for it to be there and in order for you to continue to grow it. We're working on our muscles of integration. Change ain't comfortable. What do we got? Oh, we got two of them. Look at that. Oh, we've got the Empress. Beautiful. Oh, here comes out. That's Two of Rods. There's that Two of Rods again. All right, let's see what else comes out. Okay, well, there we go. Let's just leave it at that. We have the Queen of Swords. We have Judgment, Wheel of Fortune, and the Seven of Swords. All came out in a group together, and that's how it wants to stay. So just going to put those all like this and see how the messages come forth. Okay, so it's muscles of integration. How do you integrate? Like we have here, we have the Empress as well as the Queen of Swords. How do you integrate the Queen of Swords, your Virgo, Earth? This is an Earth. How do you integrate your Queen of Swords with the Empress? The Empress, which is 5D. The Empress, which is Piscean. Up there, something to obtain, something to shoot for, some sort of nebulous up in the sky. How do you, and I love that the Two of Rods came out between it, how do you get here? How do you figure it out? What journey do you go on? What insight do you have? What actions do you need to take to bring these two and bridge these two together? To create this balance, this access point. It's bringing your spiritual self into the real world and the process that you need to get that done. There's something about, I got this image of this red carpet where This moon is like that rolling out the red carpet. It's the premiere. It's the big premiere of you, of your life, of what resolution or revolution you are going to find in September. It's this breaking apart. Again, it's detaching. It's detaching from your outcomes. It's time to let go and release those things, which is interesting because this is a full moon, right? Full moon is normally this process of letting go and really like let go and let God. Great word for this moon. Great phrase for this moon. And it's really just letting it be so that way that resolution and revolution of September can happen. Now, Uranus and Mercury both station retrograde really close to this moon. So they're just a couple of days ago. And Saturn, we've got to talk about Saturn because Saturn is at 3 degrees, 33 minutes, the exact time of this moon, sitting in Pisces. So now we have this, the moon is in Pisces, allowing us to hone in. And I think, hold on, now that I think about it, did I just say the sun and anyways, we're here, Mercury retrograde. If you go back and re-listen and I said the moon was in Virgo, not true. Sun's in Virgo, moon opposing in Pisces. So Saturn is retrograde in Pisces, 3 degrees, 33 minutes. That's a message from the ancestors. That's a message from the ancestors in the Saturnian things of life. This Queen of Swords, great Saturnian things in life. That honesty, the boundaries that are needed to become the Empress, right? What has your Saturn process been? I see a lot of this Saturn process coming out in here. So first off, we have the Judgment card. And there's this, look at Gabriel. I know this is Gabriel. I know that's what it's made after. But this is kind of giving me those Saturnian vibes. What has your Saturnian process been? Where are your responsibilities? Here's your 7 of Swords. What are your responsibilities of becoming a whole cohesive self? The Wheel of Fortune. Where are you at in that journey? What practices, what rituals, what creations, what imagination, what XXX have you been taking since Saturn has gotten into Pisces earlier this year? How has your world changed because of it? Now, the great thing about this moon is it's moving away from the conjunction with Saturn, which happens hours before this moon. But what are you moving away from? What is changing this Wheel of Fortune? What is changing? What journey are you on? What things are you blowing away from you that you no longer need? What swords, what muck are you leaving behind? What are you going away from? And I just want to look. I got my trusty honeycomb. Y'all, honeycomb, you hear it. I wanted to see, when does this moon happen? So the new moon is happening at 8:39 Central on, oh my gosh, wrong moon. Hold on. Hold, please. 8:35 Central on the 30th. And I'm trying to see when that moon goes conjunct with Saturn retrograde. So no, it's moving towards Saturn because the moon occurs. Nope, forgive me. So the moon in Pisces conjunct Saturn retrograde in Pisces will happen at 3 degrees, 34 minutes. That happens at 14:32. So 2:32 Central Time, PM. And then the moon occurs at 8:35 p.m. Central Time. So moving away from just a couple hours. All right. What else? What other things do we have here? Virgo. We can't talk about this moon without talking about the sun in Virgo, Virgo working with us. Some of this detachment, some of this purposeful, responsible is those little lists that we accumulate, like these Seven of Swords, the things that we are accumulating over and over and over again, our honeydew list. Maybe you have an idea list and it's just gotten long. You got all of these things that you want to do and you just keep putting them off. Those little debts that you've been carrying, because we carry them, even if they are on a piece of paper, there's still something that you want to complete. Even if they're really, really minor, they take up energetic space. So while one might not be an issue, when you have a plethora of them, I know right here, have a plethora of them, they begin to add up and they begin to create weight, energetic weight. Those debts are coming due. That is what this sun for me is illuminating. That's what this moon is illuminating, these debts that are becoming due. So that way, again, rolling out this red carpet for September, you can get that revolution or resolution on them. You can use the Virgo energy to get those things done. Complete. Get them out of your energetic sphere, this judgment. Turn the wheel on them. Get them gone, because it's important that you release that energy. You don't need to carry all those little things with you anymore. However small, it takes up your capacity. That is what Virgo, Sun and Mercury retrograde here, we can begin to rectify those. We can begin to use Mercury retrograde to think up of a plan to get those things off. There's also a reminder here that health, mind, body, spirit, that's Virgo. Feet, Pisces, Saturn, ruling the feet. Reminder to take care of your health. What debts do you have in the health regions of life, right? Have you gone and taken care of your feet in a while? Gone and gotten a pedicure? Gone and, had, maybe it's a health issue that you've been meaning to look into. Time to get that energetic weight off and let this moon give you that moment of detachment to really hone in on what those responsibilities are, what you need to do in a purposeful manner to get that energetic clear out for yourself. One of the other things, and this was a conversation that I had with my Baba over the last week. I was traveling. I got to spend some time with my Iya and Baba. And one of the conversations that I had with him was around what the new earth looks like. And the new earth, from what the messages that he has been getting, he has been talking about it in a way that the work that we do in the new earth needs to match our energy. So I wanted to bring that in here because we are in this Pisces Virgo axis. We are in this Pisces full moon. How do we integrate our spiritual self? And this is so Saturn and Pisces. How do we integrate our spiritual self into the real world, Virgo? How do we Taurus, all of this Taurian energy we got going on? How do we integrate our spiritual self into the real world? Because if, the understanding is that new earth, we have to do things that match our energy, not just to make the quick dollar, not just to do, it has to match our temperament, our energy, our auric field, what we're supposed to be here to do. Do you know what that is yet? Are you working on it? And then how can you use the energies that are around you at this current time to help you traverse, navigate, come to conclusions, begin to do that work. See beyond the veil. See beyond the veil. There's something very much here in this Queen of Swords to see beyond the veil, and do not be scared with what's revealed. Do not be scared of this Empress. Obviously, you can see the sun just came out, rain gone, done. It's like, nope, we're done. We're done here. The Empress. See beyond the veil. Don't be scared with what's revealed. Don't be scared about this Empress. It's a moment that you, through that detachment, purposeful and mindful detachment, that you can begin to determine how to live with that. Determine how to live when you see beyond that veil. Great shows for this moon. The Matrix, Inception. If you've never watched 1899, that's on Netflix. It's a show. These are all shows that, how do you live when you see beyond the veil? How do you not be scared with what's behind that veil? Great Pisces full moon sort of energy. So that is a Pisces. Let me get this out of here. Our Pisces full moon. And now we are headed over to Venus stationing direct. We have Venus stationing direct in Leo at 12:12. Let me just take a quick look at the chat. I see chats in here. Is this for Virgos? This is overall energy. We all have Virgo energy. Thank you for the question. I'm Sharita. We all have Virgo energy in our natal chart. Depending upon if you know your natal chart, you could also have other planets and points. The star just flew out for you right there. You could have other planets and points that Virgo still gets activated. No matter what, when you have big transits like this, a moon or any other big aspects or planets going through it, that Virgo area of your life is getting lit up. So yeah, it's kind of for everybody. All right, let's go now, headed back over to Venus stationing direct. We've got that at 12:12. We love the 12:12. We are going, Two of Swords wanted to show itself. Let's put this here because we are going to head right over to the Queen of Wands, the lioness herself. I chose the lion for this, which again is the Queen of Wands in the animal tarot. We're going to do the Sabian symbol as well as the lion animal tarot. So let me get those out and then we'll talk about this Two of Swords. So let's ground on Sabian symbol first. All right, 12:12 means it is Leo 13. An old sea captain rocking. This is a symbol of man's great love for reliving his experiences in memory and his gift for achieving a mastery in advance of whatever new situations he may face by bringing all the ramifying relationships to a focus in a personal and competent grasp of their more pertinent potentialities. He fights the battles of the world with his imagination, over and over again. He knows that events repeat themselves and so may be brought in leash. The key word is retrospect. What a beautiful Venus station direct Leo 12:12 word. When positive, the degree in each person's unlimited capacity for calling up afresh the powers he has gained in his struggle towards self-fulfillment. And when negative, insensibility to present reality in a full surrender to the past. That is a great, look, I hear my Venus retrograde as well has been very interesting. I know there are a lot of people in this community that have had a very, very intense Venus retrograde in Leo season, just a Venus in Leo season. So that that was huge because essentially, and when we get to the number 12, when we talk about the lion, this is all about that reconciliation of the past. What Venus retrograde did in Leo, when it stations direct on 9/3, today, if most of your stuff happened before she went into her Kazemi with the sun in her first half, there is nothing you can do about it today. You can't go back and change it. What we can do, and the only thing that we can ever control, is our reactions. Control how we, control what we can control, which is how we react to things, how we interpret things, how we understand, how we grow, how we develop, how we heal, thrive, and grow from it. So let's take a look at the lion. It's the 7 of Cups. Okay, Queen of Wands. All right, so again, this is the beautiful lion energy right here. I love that there's sunflowers in the background. There's 7 sunflowers, so kind of going back to that 7 of Cups, the dragonfly energy. All right. You may notice that this card seemed to be bathed in a magenta hue, a reminder that this queen, like all the other queens in the tarot, is connected to the Empress. We just saw the Empress in the reading for the Pisces full moon. She represents love and generosity and is a nurturer by nature. When there is a lull in inspired action, the queen takes time for self-care and allows herself the space to relax and enjoy her physical experience. She asks that you follow her lead and rest your body in between healing activities. She's gone through a lot. Venus went through a lot during this, Leo. There ain't nothing wrong. Again, going back to this Pisces full moon, detachment in a purposeful, responsible way. Ain't nothing wrong with doing that. And here come, let me show this. Here comes this 2 of Swords. How are you going inside? How are you interpreting this? This me goes right back to the Sabian symbol. How are you interpreting what you went through? How are you breaking free from the things that you're like, I can't believe that happened to me? How are we changing that narrative to, I can't believe what happened for me? Two totally different things. But where is the clarity coming from? Have you sat down and actually looked at things yet? Or is it just, I'm detaching. I'm totally, that didn't happen. I want to ignore it. I want to go through with it. Venus stationing direct, she's going to go back through Leo. She's going to cover some of this same territory. She was loud. This Venus retrograde was loud, as it should be. We're lions. Lions is loud. That's what we love. We love being loud out here. Leo sun, loud. So if she was already loud now, you don't think when she recovers her track, she's not going to be even louder? All right. So she's been sitting at 12 degrees for a hot minute, like a weekish, just coming all the way down. If you have not been doing self-care, this is the week to do self-care. This is the week to really, we're at the 29th. She doesn't do it till the 3. Go and do that self-care. Pisces full moon, right? Tomorrow, again, talked about the feet. Great time to go get a pedicure. Take that self-care moment because she's also going to stay at 12 degrees for another weekish. It's like another 7-ish days that she is going to be at this 12-degree mark, really digging in to these messages, really digging in to this lioness message, this Queen of Wands, really digging into that reflection piece, that rest, that rehabilitation, the Sabian symbol of understanding that retrospective. So it's good time to integrate, good time to interpret, good time to consolidate, good time to journal, good time to review what you did journal during this time if you've been keeping a journal. And then I wanted to get into this 12 because 1212 is like, that was a signifier for me. 7 of Pentacles. This is that integration, that interpret, the consolidation, like what occurred, what did you do, what did you plant, and let's think about it. Is it producing what you want? Is how you reacted to whatever happened during this Venus retrograde in Leo, did it produce what you wanted it to produce? If the answer is no, what needs to be done differently? All right, angel number 12 means, this is from angelnumber.org, means you should focus on your divine life purpose and also your soul mission. This number is related to your inner wisdom and inner strength. Here's that 6 of Cups again. You have to use your wisdom and your sensitivity in order to achieve your goals. And when we talk about 12-12, so 2 12s together, this is truly where my favorite phrase, one of my favorite mantras comes from or aligns with, which is hold the vision and trust the process. Trust the process, right? Like this 2 of Swords, trust that whatever you're going through in this 2 of Swords, whatever you're interpolating, whatever you're consolidating, whatever you're integrating, it's purposeful. Trust that what you see when you look at what happened, trust all of those things, trust that process, but never lose sight of what you're going towards. What are you going towards? Whatever this 6 of Cups is, it's enough to share with others. Whatever this is that ability to be self-sufficient, to be able to give to others, to have and hold. And it's that Libra energy, right? I love that. It's like very much this Libra energy. And it's start taking the steps you need to restore that balance, work on purpose, and overall take these steps that are needed for you during this time. Whatever this is triggering for you, this 2 of Swords, take it. Take what you need during this time. But again, remember, detaching in a purposeful and meaningful way. Again, I can't say it enough. I can't stress it enough. Jupiter and Venus are square. That is our September underlying signature. We talked about it last week. This is that pressure to be bigger, pressure to go bigger. And as Molly McCord said, and I talked about this last week, Jupiter square Venus can be a lack of moderation. So I got the word today on the walk, temper, not in not temper like anger, tempered, like really tempering yourself, really holding back, really having discernment, really not, this 7 of Pentacles, he could harvest these right away. Like, look at how juicy they look, right? Look at how juicy all of this looks. He could harvest it right away. He is not, because it's not a 10 yet. He's tempering. Jupiter, Venus square, all of September, temper. All right, next up, we have Mercury retrograde trine Jupiter. That was on 9/4, our only actual aspect this week. And then same day, a couple hours later, Jupiter stations retrograde in Taurus. So I want to talk about this Mercury retrograde trine Jupiter. That will happen at 5:28 a.m. Central Time. And then the retrograde happens at 9:10. So like figure what, 4-ish hours between these two events. So I chose the cow, which is aligned in this deck with the Empress. I chose the cow with the animal tarot, and let's take a look at what the energy signature of the cow is. Okay. All right. So it says, there's two things I'm going to read here. So what is interesting is that the Empress only shares her magic with us during the pregnancy phase, as if what she creates is meant to be hidden for now. This is that Jupiter, that Venus Jupiter temper. Not everybody deserves to know your story. The cow wants you not to think about what will ultimately be birthed. Instead, she wants you to just focus on where you are now. She wants you to enjoy the stage of creating and revel in the energy of expectancy. Mercury trine Jupiter. Jupiter wants to pump. Jupiter wants to go. Jupiter wants to expand and exceed. And Mercury retrograde, these are both earth signs. They want to bring it down here. The cow also asks you to look at how you are nourishing your body, mind, and soul. What foods are you putting into your body? What thoughts are you chewing on? These are all very Virgo things. What thoughts are you chewing on over and over again in your mind? Mercury retrograde. And does Jupiter trine just make that more expansive? And how are you giving your soul the space it requires to express itself? Nourishment is not just for the body alone. Make sure all of you is getting what it needs to grow up healthy and strong. That cow, this Empress, came in serious. So Mercury's happy. Mercury up in Virgo. Happy, 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 happy. Jupiter is happy. Jupiter's in Taurus, doing great things right at that midpoint. He's paused. So he's like, it's almost like this when things, a big planet like Jupiter, when it stations, it's paused, it's just vibrating. It's just vibrating with energy. It's like revving itself up. It's like that moment right before the roller coaster launches where you're just like a bundle of energy and nerves. And the trine is happy. The trine's happy. This is all happy, happy. This Mercury and Jupiter trine is happy. It's this idea. Oh, all right, this Two of Wands coming over and over again. Two of Wands, there's something happening here. There's some sort of balanced action, and we're going to talk about it. We can do the work. Mercury retrograde, Virgo, trine Jupiter, Taurus. Not afraid of the work. Not afraid of the work to get this Nine of Pentacles. Not afraid of what it takes to get this. Not only to get this, but to maintain it. To maintain it for the long haul. To maintain it for all the things that we need and want and do. Again, we're in building our new foundations. Why not make that foundation as good as it can? As good as it can be. So in August, the energy signature of August was like the journey to get here, the journey to get to Mercury retrograde and actually have that done was far less pleasant than what Mercury's actually doing during his retrograde. But Mercury is here now. He is retrograde. And Mercury's like, look, I made it. I made it to my retrograde. I'm pushing back. Let's effing go. Let's get these Nine of Pentacles. I'm sick and tired of waiting on this shore. I'm waiting for my boat to arrive. Can it hurry up? What is taking so long? I want to move. I want to take action on things. Jupiter wants the boat to come in and is trying to get, let's blow this wind. Let's get these waves. Let's get these things going. But again, I'm going to go back to the word temper. What did the cow just say? Let's go right, because that's exactly that message, which is don't think about what will ultimately be birthed. Instead, focus on where you are now. Create, revel in the energy of expectancy. Allow that to be what expands for you. Allow that to be how Jupiter works with you, is instead of being impatient and waiting and being like, yes, let's go, revel in the beauty of what's around you. Revel in the ability, like, wow, I'm actually going to go on a journey. I have no idea what's going to happen when we get there, but holy cow, this is going to be great. And Mercury and Jupiter are both in earth signs. That is very much here energy, very much in the now energy. It's this pay attention to what's right in front of you. Pay attention, this Two of Rods, pay attention to what is coming in, not out in the sea, right? You got to know that boat's coming. You got to know faith, right? Hold the vision, trust the process. The vision, the boat's coming. But you're still on land, so enjoy what you see here. So this is also a conversation that has been already started. August 9th was the first time that this trine happened. They were both direct. Now here we are, September 4th is our second one. So this is that middle point of a story. You may be figuring out what the first conversation was all about. And then on September 25th, we will have our third, where Mercury will be direct, but Jupiter will be retrograde. It's kind of this like interesting ebb and flow. It's this exchange of energies. I love that now the Two of Rods are here. It's this exchange of information versus this like, well, I've got to give, and then we both have to think about it, and then we'll come to an agreement. This is, hey, we're reciprocity. There's that word again, reciprocity here. Mercury is also making a sign opposition to Neptune and Saturn. So regardless of what Jupiter has to say, there is still a Neptunian and a Saturnian color to it. And that is all about, oh, justice popped. Getting into Libra season quickly. But this is, again, ooh, look, the cow. What did she say? Focus on the here and now. Here I am like wanting to jump ahead. Focus on the here and now. So how can justice work with us right now? Mars is in Libra. How do we seek clarity in the Virgo Pisces axis? Mars was just here. What can he do and lean on us for? How can you justice? How can you seek that clarity? Maybe you need a mediator. Maybe you need somebody to help you figure out what is happening in here. Again, this is very much what I talked about in a couple of Twitchy Tuesdays, I think at this point now ago. It's that Fantasia scene in Mickey Mouse. It's mopping the beach. This Virgo Pisces axis is like, how is Mercury going to make sense of everything? There is strength. There is justice in your mental warrior. There's action. We can take action, but there's a lot up here right now that we need to be focused on in the now, in this moment. All right. Jupiter retrograde in Taurus, and that will bring us to our final animal tarot, which is going to be our beautiful bees. So the bee is sitting right there. The bee is aligned with the Six of Wands. And let's take a look and see what we have. So Jupiter retrograde in Taurus will station retrograde 9:10 a.m. on September 4th at 15 degrees 35 minutes. And the reason why I chose the bee is because Jupiter is going to be a busy bee in September and into October. He's got a hot couple of months where he is going to be just supporting, helping, being a busy little bee with us. So let's get into that energy to ground in, and then we'll pull some tarot. So the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands is all about celebration in this. Each one of these different areas all talked about giving yourself a pat on the back for a job well done, getting that experience, getting that recognition. People are starting to see your value. You're starting to see your value. But don't let it go to your head. Continue to show up. That's what the bee does. The bee doesn't like get it. Hey, my honey won all of the recognition and accolades. This is the best honey on the planet. The bee gets up and does what the bee does every single day. Show up, do your best, even when, especially when no one is looking. The Six of Wands in relationship readings mean you have either made the right choice in the partner or you're finally in a good space in a relationship. Either way, pat on the back. And the last one is congratulations. You have done well, and those around you want to celebrate your success. This is a good thing, and you need to allow yourself some time to honor all that you have achieved. Take it all in, as you will need to connect with this good feeling energy the next time you hit a wall or reach a plateau. Temper, right? They're absolutely celebrate. 150% celebrate. Pat yourself on the back. Make sure that you're taking time to acknowledge how far that you have come, how far we have gotten with Jupiter retrograde in Taurus, all the things that we have been doing. Take that moment for yourself, especially during September when you're getting resolution or revolution. Have that moment. Don't sit in the moment. Jupiter retrograde, Venus square gives you all opportunity to sit up in there in the moment and just bask in the glory. Bask in all the things. Temper. Show up. Show up day after day. Consistency. That is the key. So let's get this back and we'll do our final Jupiter retrograde reading and get to the Twitchy tip of the week, and we'll be out of here. All right. Busy bee. We talked about it. Busy bee Jupiter. He's stepping up to the plate. He's helping us out. He's got that September square with Venus. I'll continue to talk about it. Yep. That's all month long. He has trines to Virgo. That's where Mercury and the Sun are at in September. And then he is opposing, well, not he, but Mercury and the Sun are opposing Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. So he is just giving support to Mercury and the Sun in dealing with Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. And then when we get into the second half of October, all of a sudden, this Jupiter retrograde in Taurus begins to make oppositions to the Scorpio areas, which is going to be the Scorpio planets, which will be the Sun, Mercury, and Mars. And again, that's the second half of October. So he's got a lot of good thing. He's a big planet, the Queen of Cups. He has got a lot of things that are coming up. He's got a lot of support that he is going to be providing. And then a little bit of challenge, right? When he gets to that Scorpio opposition, there's going to be a little bit of, hey, think about it differently. Hey, go bigger. Hey, expand more. During his station, and I love that the Queen of Cups came out, the moon, Queen of Cups, let's see if something with Uranus wants to come out. The moon and Uranus will both be in Taurus as well on 9/4. And Jupiter and Uranus have been doing this kind of like, they've been co-present for a hot minute now, right? A couple of months. But there's been this teasing going on with Jupiter and Uranus. Like they've been, the Nine of Swords came out. They have been kind of doing this little conjunction dance, like, but it reminds me of, not the tango, the Paso Doble. It reminds me of like this intense dance and standoff. And the star came out again. All right, that's where we're going to leave those three. And we're talking about the Queen of Cups here now. So It reminds me of this like intricate dance of give and take, of coming forward and, you know, the bull, presenting yourself, coming out, the Taurus, and then Uranus is like the matador. And all right, what are we going to do here? So it is this tease of a conjunction. They will not get there. How do we feel about that? How do we feel about this little tease that's going on? How do we feel about our dance steps? How do we feel about how we're working with this Taurian co-presence of Jupiter and Uranus? How have those Uranus things been working for you with Uranus and Taurus? That tease will come to a head. They are going to conjunct each other. That's going to be way later though. So there is something to look forward to there, but this tease is playing. All right, first station in Taurus. 9 of Swords. Yes, ma'am. 9 of Swords came out. All right. Well, here's the thing about first stations, especially with planets as big as Jupiter. I tend to find this with the outer planets. You know, not necessarily, well, I won't even say that. This is the first station since Jupiter has been in the sign of Taurus that is going to go retrograde. Typically, these can be very literal. So here's this 9 of Swords being up in your face, being incredibly frank about the shit that's going down, being incredibly loud, and not easy to ignore. So what this could mean is you could see things out there, like see news stories or hear of other people's stories or hear things on see things on social media that you're just like, if that is not Jupiter and Taurus, I don't know what is. Whoa. And it can be so literal. It can be so literal. And you may even experience something like that. So that, again, sometimes when planets station like this, that first one, it's just like, this is going to be the flavor going forward. Watch, pay attention, journal, move forward. No. Again, how do you react to things? There's another thing, and here comes the star in the conversation, as well as the 6 of Wands, right? This is celebratory energy. There is things here that are, again, September, we're coming to resolution or revolution. You're doing all the things that you need to be doing. You are going to get support. Jupiter stationing retrograde in Taurus gives the support for the trines in Virgo as they're dealing with Saturn and Neptune, the support for the oppositions with Scorpio in the second half of October. There is divine support here in the star, but Jupiter can support you all you want, but you have to be willing to see it. That's more here. You have to be willing to go through it. You have to be willing to interpret it, Queen of Cups, and you still have to do the work, the B. You still have to wake up every day and be consistent. Jupiter retrograde in Taurus, everyone. All right. Gonna hide that. We are done with readings for today. Those are the messages that wanted to come through. And let's get to this Twitchy tip of the week, and then we'll clear space and we gonna get out of here. All right. So Twitchy tip of the week. I have been thoroughly enjoying the Exodus series with Jordan Peterson, as well as a plethora of other gentlemen that are going through the book of Exodus. So one of the things that they had talked about that just kind of got me going down a little bit of a rabbit hole, they were quoting a Immanuel Kant. And that got me going down a little bit of a rabbit hole. And I really wanted to bring it in for the Twitchy tip of the week. And then a question that they posed that I thought was so relevant that we're not going to answer here. This is a question that you can take away as a Twitchy tip of the week. Take it away, journal about it, meditate about it, whatever you need to do. And then take action where you feel is necessary. So Immanuel Kant, for those of you that don't know who Immanuel Kant is, he was a German philosopher. He was actually a Taurus, so that's really exciting. He lived during the Enlightenment period and is often referred to as one of the prolific thinkers of the Enlightenment period of that time. He came up with this theory and this concept and the idea of the phenomenal world, which is the world as it appears to us, and the noumenal world, which is things as they are in themselves. So he was the founder of transcendental idealism. That's the term that they gave it, where he believed that we can only have knowledge of things that we can experience. But that didn't exempt us from acting as if things we can't truly have knowledge about, for example, God, exist. That our actions, no matter if we can't have that true knowledge, our actions still needed to be morally sound. That we can have hope, we can have faith. And what drew me to this and why I went down this rabbit hole, especially as it pertains to this week, was this understanding that through experience, we gain knowledge. Through the work that we do, we gain that knowledge. We need to have our values in line. How long have we been talking about that? I think this is episode like 27, 20, I don't even know anymore. All of those episodes, we talk about it. We need to strive for Iwa Pele, which is good character. We need to strive for that. And we will never know the answers to the unknown. We will never know. Facts. It's unknown. I truly believe I will never know how the universe was actually created. Okay. Now that I'm over that, now that that's my reality, moving on, I can let go. I can let go and I can welcome in other concepts and other ideas. That's part of what I loved about this was it is within that letting go that new concepts come in. Because if I came to myself and said, I know how the universe was created, and then quoted some scientific theory or quoted the Bible or whatever that looked like for me, I have now shut myself down from any other thought process, any other potentiality that is out there. It's about letting go of what is. So Piscean right now. Letting go of what is and being able to accept what can be. So the question that I wanted to leave you with is, and I'm going to put it up right here because it is that important. Are you focused on what your rights are or what your responsibilities are? Again, Jordan Peterson, Exodus series, if you want to take a look at that, that's where I got this question. It provoked really wonderful conversation within myself, provoked great conversation with my husband. So what are you focused on? Your rights or your responsibility? And how does that show up for you? Thank you so much for joining me for this Twitchy Tuesday. Clearing space real quick and we will get out of here. So September is fully booked. We're traveling again in September. So we've got a couple of dates that are a little wonky on the schedule. They will not be on Twitchy Tuesdays. And it's Maybon. So that means that we have another special Twitchy Tuesday Sabbath reading and Sabbath insight. So you want to make sure, head to YouTube now, go to Twitchy Tuesdays, hit that notify me button. Make sure you're subscribed too, because then when I go live, you'll know about it. If you are on X, I show up live. Make sure to catch it. Make sure to follow on X so that way you know. Catch it on the replay, and as well as the Twitch fam too. And if you are already following me, I can't thank you enough for that. If you are following on YouTube, X, Twitter, any of the social medias, thank you so much. If you want to support in a different way, you can do that now by simply buying me a coffee at the link right below. Buying me a coffee, essentially what you're doing is you're helping me achieve some of my wish list items and goals. I definitely want Solar Fire to come into the, so we can pull charts, we can get more information. I can begin to develop the channel more. And of course, always want new decks, right? We're coming into October. There are some fun spirit decks that we can play with, especially for the month of October. So definitely go here, buy me a coffee. Really would appreciate it. And we still got the vibes going. We're still going to do intentions in September. If you are on X exclusively, I post the intention, incense, and vibe every single day. Been doing it since the start of August. And then I take all of those vibes, just all the music, and I put it into a playlist on Apple Music. And I will be doing the same thing for September. So as soon as August is over, that playlist is shut down. You've got hours of awesome shuffle, vibe, do whatever you need to do. And then we'll start building September. So there are multiple other playlists there as well. There is the link, but it's real easy. If you have Apple Music, just head over there in the search, type in Habitual Sages, all one word. It will take you right there. And then you can download them, follow, and there you have it. All right. Thank you, everybody. I will see everyone next week. Have a fabulous Piscean full moon. Bye, everyone.